So I'll be real, I can't believe this video needs to be made. But let's talk about Ben Parker's existence in the MCU and why he exists without being seen. Naturally, when it comes to the MCU version of Spider-Man, there's a lot that people hate about the interpretation they're doing. Naturally, because it has to be different than what they did in The Amazing Spider-Man and the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. So the constant thing that gets tossed out there is the fact that people did not see Ben Parker or have the great power, great responsibility speech, and to them, this somehow, I guess, pushes the narrative that he doesn't exist or has never existed in the MCU. Now, this is the same people that were saying that they never want to see him get shot again or that speech again because we've gotten it twice in a decade, right? So I'm going to try to make this video as simple as possible without blowing people's minds. So follow along here. So Peter Parker has parents. He had parents. He's not born from midichlorians, right? So he had his dad Richard and his mom. And they did the funky, and then Peter Parker was born. That's how this works. Peter's dad, had a brother, Ben, who married May. Follow along here. So when his parents died, he was sent over to live with his aunt and uncle. The reason she's called Aunt May, you following along here? Hope I'm not blowing your mind. It's because Ben Parker died. They mention that May has been through a lot. He outright says it. So, just by this simple logic, Ben has existed. It's alluded to in multiple conversations, but they don't show him. This is sort of like being subtle and not having to hammer you over the head with exposition and a whole plot dump, right? Because sometimes you don't have to necessarily beat people over the head with the most basic knowledge. It just doesn't make sense to me. So of course he exists, you don't have to show him. Like, every time we see a new Spider-Man comic, right? Is it supposed to give us that damn speech every time? Being like, I don't know if he exists. Huh. Of course he does. It's the core of the character. That's how he's built up. And the reason Aunt May is allowed to date again is because she's human.